Good morning. We are out and about. Little Miss Pyaar out for her morning stroll. And yes, we're out in the morning today. Yay! And all our clouds are gone. There's a few clouds right over there. But other than that, we have another picture perfect day. Slight breeze. Oh, just gorgeous. I mean, really. Couldn't ask for better. How are you? How did you sleep last night? Anything exciting happen for you yesterday? Did you get all your water in? Did you drink lots of water? Did you get enough rest? Sometimes we don't sleep as much as we'd like, but even the little bit we get feels good. Oh, so tell me about your day. Love to hear it. My day, since we talked last night, you kind of know about for yesterday. Although afterwards, I did make several videos and get them up and posted. Yay me. So you have stuff to watch. Did what the hell did she buy now video? And did my empties video. And what else did I do? Oh, the FabFitFun box unboxing. I really like that little purse that came in there. That was a good pick. But still, it wasn't the best of choices for this box. So that was last night. Took a shower, washed my hair. I'm gonna go get it trimmed today. So washed it last night and gave it a quick 70% blow dry. They say with curly hair you're not supposed to dry it all the way. So I tried not to. There's a lady walking her dog. It's a little white dog. She's just so happy. Little tail going a mile a minute. Good morning. So cute. And I want to say we're pushing 70. I think it's 66 right now. With the sun out, it feels good. It's okay to be in short sleeves. And I have on a nice bright outfit today. I'm going to try and be my own sunshine. My pants are, we'll probably call them vintage at this point. Fabletics. And the t-shirt is from Target. One of the A New Days. Again, also ancient. So, and my sunglasses are Maui Jims. I will say, as far as sunglasses go, oh, and I have a lot of sunglasses. Maui Jims are the ones that I prefer. I mean, the clarity is amazing, and you see things when you wear these glasses that you don't see when you wear other sunglasses. And I mean, the UVA, UVB, all of that is top notch in them. But the clarity is kind of crazy. I don't know if you ever noticed, and of course, I didn't notice until I started wearing Maui Jim sunglasses. And this is not sponsored. Again, it's just if I find something I think is good, I will always turn you on to it. I know people love their Oakleys, love their Ray-Bans. I have one pair of each. of those, one pair of Ray-Bans, one pair of Oakleys. More for style than anything else. But anyway, if you're in your car, right, almost all of the cars now have like a factory tint on the window. Hold on, look, there's a bunny. There he is. And as we walk, he'll probably hop because he may think, yep, that we're going to cause him harm, but we're not. There he is. He's got a white butt. It's not even a tail, it's just part of his butt. Well, Mr. Bunny, you have an amazing day. Be fabulous. He's a full-grown guy. Okay, so there's our little bunny side note. But talking about the sunglasses. So the Maui gyms was saying how the cars, the windows these days all have some sort of tint kind of made into the glass. And sometimes it's darker than others, right? Like my car, the back windows, I didn't have them tinted. The back windows in the sunroof have a fairly dark tint. And then the front passenger windows are lighter. When you look at it, you can see, I don't want to say it's pixelated. It's almost like a checkerboard. So you can see that when you wear these glasses. It's pretty cool. And if you ever never tried a pair on, when you go into a store, like Sunglass Hut or something, there's a picture, like a very tropical picture of Maui gyms. And it looks, I can't remember if it's black and white or if it's color, but then you put the glasses on and the color is so much more vibrant and so crystal clear. You're like, whoa, what just happened? They're really great glasses. So if you're looking for a good pair of sunglasses, and you can't be one of those people that sits on your glasses or loses them all the time because they cost too much to, be that kind of person with these glasses. I will say I'm very careful with my glasses. I have not sat on a pair, not lost a pair. Come on, girl. So, also, I do not buy them from Macy's, Sunglass Hut, even from the Maui Gym site. I get them at Costco. Used to be, you could get them from Costco for $99 a pair. They're now up to $114.99, so $115 to $125. So needless to say, I think when I was there last time, which was last Saturday, right? Or Sunday, come on, girl. Oh my goodness. Just gotta leave a mark everywhere. They were having like a sunglass sale, and they had one or two pair that were at the under $100 mark. And I really thought about getting them. I tried them on, I liked them well enough. I was like, am I getting them because they're under $100? Or am I getting them because I really love them? Because it's not even a need thing, I have enough. So I passed. But if you are dipping your toe into a better pair of sunglasses, then, consider them. I would recommend them. I know that, like all the designers have them. Chanel and Versace and Gucci, they all have sunglasses. Tom Ford. You're spending a lot of money for those glasses. And it's not like they're known for their UVA, UVB protection. That's not being put out there. It's just for the logo. So as much as I love a good designer moment, I don't buy designer sunglasses for that reason. We're walking by the house where the music is pumping from the house across the street. I wonder, there's 4 cars there. I wonder if she doesn't like have her own business, like an exercise class going out of her garage. That could be it. Because I hear a female voice. So maybe she has like a Zumba class or something that she runs out of her garage. And they have a graduate sign in their window, so they must have obviously had a high schooler graduate. Congratulations to them. You know, and thinking about that, okay, sunglasses, we're done. But thinking about that, the whole graduate thing, you know, that's a lot of pressure to put on a kid. You know, we expect a 17 or 18-year-old to have decided what they're going to do with the rest of their life. When we, as adults, a lot of us have no idea. I mean, we're just going through the motions, right? We have a job, we're paying the bills. Is it what we want to do with the rest of our lives? I mean, for a lot of us adults, we don't know that. Yet now at 17, 18, make a decision on what you're going to do for the rest of your life and go to school for that. I mean, I can use my own grandson as an example. You know, he, super smart kid, graduated in South Florida. There's a school called Suncoast, and it's a public school, but it's kind of an elite public school. You have to apply to get in. You have to have a certain GPA, and there are so many people that want to get in to that school. So many kids want to be in that school. You know, they look at you as an entire person as opposed to just your GPA. So it's really quite interesting, the whole selection process and all of that. And when Robert was deciding, you know, what to do, I'd come home from work one day. He's like, "Hey, Grandma Rose, can we talk?" I'm like, "Absolutely. What are we talking about?" You know? And he's like, "Well, I'm trying to decide where to go for high school. Do I go to Central, which was his district school, or do I go to Suncoast?" He said, "Because I got accepted into Suncoast." And I said, "Well, that's awesome, you know." And he was really methodical about it. I mean, he did a pros and cons chart, and at the time there was some sort of scandal, I don't even remember what it was, over a principal at Central. And I said, "Look, the principal's not going to be there anymore. They've already taken care of that situation. That's not like a you thing. That doesn't affect your education." So I would knock that off. But I mean, he was really thoughtful in his decision. He did decide on Suncoast, but he was still a little iffy about it. And they went for the orientation, and he was still not like 100% on board. And there was an advisor there, or a counselor, and I guess he indicated that he was, could be one, could be the other. And the lady looked at him and said, "Listen, we've got so many hundred kids behind you that want to be here. So if you don't want to be here, you say that now so we can get somebody that does want to be here in." So I guess that kind of helped him make up his mind. And he went to Suncoast, got a really excellent education. Again, was right up there. When you're in a school where everybody is the top 10%, you're not the big fish in the little pond anymore kind of thing. So there was a little adjustment for him there. And then for him, of course, he went through COVID, in high school. And that was a little hiccup in that experience. But part of going to Suncoast and doing as well as he did, he already had basically his first year of college done. So when it came time to go to college, he had the option to do college in 3 years, or make it the whole 4, because he had all the credits he would need to graduate. And, he wasn't sure. I said, well, it's kind of like, this is your time. This is your time to explore. So why don't you take that time? And of course he had to go in with a major in mind. And he would flopped back and forth in high school between an attorney and a doctor. And then he leaned more into doctor, and he was thinking plastic surgeon. And then, which, I encouraged. I'm like, yeah, okay. yeah. Hook up the family, okay. And then he got into college, and he did really well. And the whole college move-in and all that was fun. We all went up. We had a good time. And he did just really well with everything. He's still in college. I think this is his last year. He decided to do the full 4. And excellent grades. But he decided he didn't want to be a doctor after all, because he was kind of over school. He just didn't want to do that anymore. So there was that, and then it got into the switching major. And he thought, I don't want to go to school for this long. And then he thought maybe he would get into research, because that really appealed to him. And so one of my students in Florida, wonderful woman, thank you so much, really took some time. Both she and her husband are research scientists for Scripps, and took the time to talk with him and, tell him about the real life of it all, and not just what we think it's going to be. So he got that kind of information from her and thought maybe that was the way he wanted to go. And then the more he thought about it, so it kind of switched the major. And then he thought about it some more, and he's like, I don't know, that's really not what I want to do. And in the interim, he started tutoring so that he could have a little extra money while he was in school. And he ended up opening his own little tutoring business. And I say little business, it's not little. It makes more money than I do. Right now he is making more money every month than I do. And good for him. And he's really being smart about it and everything. And he's thinking now that, he's not going to go into medical. He's not going to go into research. This is what he's going to do. So I did caution him, about the money, right? Because when you're 21, and you're making money, that's really great. What's the sustainability on it and all of that? Always keep those things in mind. But if that's what he wants to do, then that's great. He, of course, has all of our support. His mother, grandfather, me. I'm sure his other grandma. His Nana. So, wish him well. But it's just like, at 17, he's expected to know what he was going to do for the rest of his life. And even though he seemed very convinced that that was what he wanted to do, then he realized, maybe not. Maybe I don't want to do all that. So then went ahead and he pivoted. And isn't it nice to be able to do that? But we don't have to be kids, We can pivot at any point. I mean, I didn't go to college, so I didn't have that kind of pressure. I just got a job and I started working, and I've done a few different things. And, I've been happy in, yeah, pretty much everything I've done. Kind of feel like now I've found my passion in the yoga. Let me let the girl in. But that didn't come until my mid-40s, and seriously, a tragedy hit. And that is when I then kind of found my passion. So it's a lot of pressure to put on kids. And I have a couple students right now that, and their kids are graduating and they're nervous because they don't know what they want to do. And, you know, the school's putting the pressure on them, and the parents are like, hey, you know what? You can get a job and work it out, or you can go to school, just take your prerequisites, get them done, kind of make decisions as you go. And although the parents are like, this is okay, he feels all kinds of angst. Where is that coming from? Somebody's got to be feeding that to them. I mean, is it being fed to them from the schools? I don't know. Didn't go through that. But I just think that it's kind of unrealistic for us to expect a 17 or 18-year-old to know what they want to do with the rest of their life and then turn around and get put on that career path. When I do my chakra balancing restorative, I talk about that, you know, that when we're kids, we seem like we know what we want to do, right? Like, and early kids know what they want to do. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a nurse. I want to be a mechanic. Whatever it is, like they know, they're convinced. But then we have people in our lives, you know, maybe they want to be an artist. Well, you can't be an artist. You're not going to make any money. You'll be, you know, you'll starve. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they start to think about other things they want to do. And as adults, we're never doing this intentionally to hurt the child, right? But we do come into this life knowing our purpose. And I think it's just through a bunch of well-meaning people that we kind of get off track. And then we do go to college, or, you know, we get out there in life and we change our major multiple times. So we have a job, and then we leave our job and we go to another job, and we have all of these jobs. You know, and it's just because we've been derailed from our path, and we knew what that was all along. So, you know, just if you can remember when you were younger what your passion was, that's probably where you should be. Like if you were a kid and you always liked numbers, yeah, you're an accountant, you're a banker, whatever it is, right? Like my husband probably would have been really great at doing that. But he even admits, he goes, he would be too crooked. He would have been in jail. But he's just that kind of good with numbers, you know. So, and then for me, I always thought I wanted to be a nurse. Like I wanted to help people. And I said that the whole time growing up. Then I realized my math skills were not so great. And then I ended up working. I worked in a deli, I worked retail, and then I got into the medical field. And when I got into the medical field, I was the happiest. I'm going to say I was happy at every job I've had. I am just that person, like I just kind of get into it and I love what I'm doing. And that's just me. You know, I've never been miserable in a job. I may have not liked a supervisor or a boss, but I've never been miserable in a job. And now I've found yoga, and I teach yoga and meditation and life coaching. And they are those caring skills, right? Like a nurse is a caregiver, right? We take care of people. As a yoga teacher, I teach you how to take care of yourself, and in turn end up helping to care for you. In my life coaching, I help, you know, you go ahead and feel better, get better, be better. And in meditation, it's also teaching you self-care. It's helping you to heal inside. So I think that in the end, and not that this is my end, but in the end, I did end up doing what I said I wanted to do when I was a little kid. No, I am not a nurse. But yes, and it was funny because I always said I also wanted to work with terminally ill children, because I felt like the parents are going through so much that the kids end up not getting all of the love and support that maybe they would otherwise, because the parents are going through it too. I mean, it's not like your parents are being neglectful. It's just they're going through it. And then I ended up losing my son, and then getting into yoga and life coaching, and I've kind of gotten myself into like a transitional life coach, as we go through problems. And I've helped several people through really tough transitions. Some have been death of a loved one. Some have been relationship, job problems. So I really feel like, hey, you did kind of listen. You did make it back, and you didn't spend your life miserable. So if you're miserable, try and remember what it is that you said you wanted to do when you were young. And maybe get into it somehow. Don't get me wrong. I mean, my yoga and life coaching, it's not sustaining me. It is not a, financially viable business at this point. And I do have another job. And the other job helps, actually doesn't help. It pays for, the whole yoga thing. And I am so grateful for that. And I'm still in the medical fields. I'm not a nurse. I'm not having direct patient care for my doctor's office, but I am enabling that direct patient care. So, I'm kind of happy with that. I really am. And I hope that you are as well. And if you're not, don't give up on it. Don't spend your time miserable. Maybe you cannot. You're not in a position where you can just pursue your passion full time. Okay, keep your job that pays the bills and get involved with whatever your passion is. Just start small. Volunteer. Get your foot in the door. Learn about it. Just because we're passionate about it doesn't mean we really know about it, right? So we learn about it. And then you can slowly start to build on that. And maybe one day you do make a full transition. Or maybe you got a 50-50 transition like I do. But it will feed your soul and pay your bills. So that really just took an interesting turn. And I'm glad that it did. And if maybe you needed to hear this, maybe it hits on some level, maybe it doesn't. Maybe you're doing what it is that you love to do. You have been able to pursue your passion, share that. And if you're in a situation like me where you have, a full-time job and another full-time job for whatever your passion is, share that too. Let people know they're not alone. Is it a lot of work? Sure. But when you're doing the thing you love, you don't look at that part as work. And maybe right now in your life is not the time for you to just throw caution to the wind and go for the passion. And like I said, that's fine. Start by volunteering. Get your feet wet. Get in there. Maybe animals are your passion. So you go and you volunteer at a shelter. And then maybe one day you start your own rescue. All kinds of different ways. I'm sitting directly in the sun right now. So anyway, I've got to get to the studio to teach that yoga that I love doing so much. I will talk to you all soon. I hope you have an amazing day. It is Friday. Have a great weekend. We'll touch base tomorrow. I think there's one event going on that I'm going to go to. Other than that, I'm not sure. I do know I won't be sitting in my swimming pool, so we'll figure something out to do. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.